can drop us in.
So it's my last stay in New York City. It's been 5.5 years since I've been here, and I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving New York City permanently. I spent the entirety of my post-college adult life here, the entirety of my 20s, from ages 22 to 27 today. It's crazy to think about. It still doesn't feel real. It's fucking drunk people behind me. It still doesn't feel real. Every time I have to move, I always kind of dread it. Then at the same time, it's always been for the best. I don't really want to leave the city right now. There are a lot more videos that I wanted to make, but at the same time, it doesn't really make sense for me to spend $90 a day to stay here if you include rent and food and all that. But if there's one thing that makes me feel better about leaving, it's the fact that it's freezing cold here. It's cold as it's way too cold for me to do the type of street interviews that I wanted to be doing. So it's all good. I'm gonna go somewhere warm, relax, get a tan. I'll probably be happier. Just right now, I've gotten really comfortable, and this is always how it is before I move. The things I'll miss the most about New York City are, one, the convenience of it. I love being able to just stumble outside of my apartment and have everything I need within a walking distance. The people, I love that there are so many people from all over the world. Basically, the whole world is in New York City, and you kind of feel like you're at the center of the world in a sense. I love the energy of the city, and I love the ambition. You move to New York City because you want to be something and make something of yourself, and it's kind of inspiring. What I won't miss about New York City, the cold, dark winters, and although it's awesome that there are so many people here, it's kind of a double-edged sword in that because there are so many people are expendable and nobody really cares about you. And so there's not really this feeling of community. You don't really feel like you're living in a neighborhood. Nobody knows their neighbors. Nobody gives a fuck about their neighbors. And so I am looking forward to living in, I guess, smaller areas where it feels more like a community. People value each other a little bit more. Also, New York City is a little bit cutthroat. It is kind of a rat race. And although ambition is amazing, I think most New Yorkers work so hard that they never really stop to question the value of what they're actually doing. Work-life balance is probably the worst here in the US. Too many employers expect their employees to devote their lives to their jobs. So basically the positives of New York City are also kind of the negatives. Will I ever move back to New York City? Within the next year or two, probably not. It's just way too expensive. Right now, I'm trying to build my own location independent income stream and just do what I want to do and not work a traditional job. And so it doesn't make sense for me to pay $2,000 a month in rent. I have a strong bias towards cheaper locations, but maybe down the line, if I was making a lot of money, I'm talking like well into six figures, at least $200K a year, then maybe I would move back. I mean, it's not completely out of the question. Money is time, and I value my time the most right now. I'd rather spend 10 years in Bangkok doing whatever I want to do than spend 3 years in New York City working some lame job. But hey, if I'm ever worth $100 million, maybe I'll buy a condo in Manhattan. I got a condo in Manhattan. As much as I hate on New York City, I can't think of any other city in the US that I'd rather live. And so I hate on it because it's worth hating on, but I have been here way too long. I've become one of those jaded New Yorkers, and so it's time for me to go, no question about it. So goodbye, New York City. It's kind of weird saying bye to some cold city that doesn't really care about you. The city will move on just fine without Jadiculous, but it's been a good, strong 5.5 years. The city's kind of helped make me who I am today, and so on to the next adventure.